Boxing, UFC, same night. You know the drill is Jayo Sto Sports. My guy's back. Day
Yep,
Day. You
yep.
already know what's good over there, man.
It's been a long time, but you already know we stay ready. You stay prepped.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And there's only one guy in the entire sport of boxing that can have an event on a UFC historical night. We've never seen the sphere before. And the guy is named Canelo Alvarez. He's a cash cow of boxing. He's the face of boxing. Nobody has done, no Mexican in particular has done what he's done. 60 plus wins. But I have a question for you, man. Berlanga? Like he could do better than
Yo,
that.
he can. I think his last opponent, Jamie Mongaya, was way better than or is way better than Berlanga. You
Mhm.
look at his resume, that was his only loss.
Yeah,
And Berlanga's defense is weak to me.
so bad.
Like his first few fights were that like where he got popular, I would say like when around like 2 years ago
He was
when
on
he
that
was
knockout
knocking.
streak.
Yeah, when he was on that knockout streak, he was looking cool, and then he had a fight where he was getting rocked. He still won the fight, but he was getting rocked, and
Mhm.
I think Canelo was gonna carry him to like the fifth round because they were talking trash, and
Yeah.
I'm not too like I don't really get too much in the debate of like who has the N word pass, who doesn't have the N word pass, but the way
Bro, it's
that
America. You know
the
how it is.
but the way Berlanga's like just throwing it out there, it's like yo, Canelo's like you see how he was talking to him, he's like
Yeah.
pow pow. It's like yo,
Yeah.
he has to put him down in the fifth, sixth. Just give them something interesting for the first few rounds, and then when Berlanga gasses out, because he's gonna go out there trying to bang out.
Yeah.
Because this is like his biggest payday that he's gonna get, and a fight that he doesn't deserve. And Canelo said he wants to rematch Bivol after this fight if
Yeah.
he beats Berdabayev, but
So I,
we'll
I'm
see about that.
I want to talk about Bivol a little bit later, but yeah, like bro, Hispanic, regardless what you are, Puerto Rican, Cuban, bro, we all know this guans, but it's for some people, it shocks them because they're not used to it in interviews. Like I've seen Tio been saying it.
Yeah,
Berlang,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen man's been saying it, but the way
yeah,
he's just throwing it out there, Canelo
yeah,
was like, yo, like
exactly.
at the press conference, like
Yeah,
I see why De La Hoya is dissing him too. Like
yeah,
man has De La Hoya chilling for Canelo now,
yeah,
and
and
De La Hoya
that's
is going to watch the UFC at the
a lot
stream.
of people are gonna watch the UFC. Even Roy
Yeah,
Jones said he's gonna watch the UFC.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know why? These are boxers. These are legends of the game. And guess why they're going to UFC? Because Canelo's such a legend and he is settling for Berlanga. You can do so much better than that. But the thing about Canelo, once you have an O, he wants to take it away regardless of the skill level. You've seen him do it to Jaime Munguia. You see him doing it to Berlanga right now. He tried to do it to Bivol, but he didn't know Bivol had hands. And this is why it rubs me the wrong way because, dude, there's two guys out there that you should be fighting, and you can retire early. Remember, Canelo's not that old. He's early 30s,
yeah.
probably 32, I think, or 30,
Mhm.
30, 33,
Probably
something like
33.
that.
Yeah.
Bro, hear me out on this. Fight Benavidez or fight Crawford. That's all it takes
Yeah.
because we need to find out who is the GOAT of this generation. Is it Canelo? Is it Bud? Y'all need to scrap it out. And I don't want to hear, oh, he's 154. Ray. He even said he'll come up and fight you. Didn't Jermel Charlo come up and fight Canelo? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why it makes no sense to me. Bud's a way better fighter than Jermel, but he knows that Bud has the
He's
best
34. Canelo's
IQ.
34.
Canelo's 3. Oh, wow, he's getting old now.
Yeah.
So he knows Bud is pound for pound number one. He knows Bud has an IQ. He's bummy. He's not only bummy of a guy that weighs less than him, he's bummy of a guy in the same weight class. If it's not Bud, it needs to be Benavidez, man.
Yeah, 100%.
And I look at it like this. Him ducking Benavidez is probably the biggest duck we've seen. We've seen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is getting outrageous. Like he had
Yeah.
to go up to 175. Benavidez had to go up to 175 because he wasn't getting the Canelo fight. And then Canelo says he wants to fight Bivol. What weight class is Bivol at? 175. So it's not adding up. It's not adding up, man. I don't get it. But for this fight, do you see Canelo getting the stoppage or do you see a unanimous decision?
I see him putting him out in like the fifth or sixth round. Under seven.
Mhm.
Under
Yeah,
seven.
yeah. And one more thing about Berlanga, please, man, please tell me one guy, one opponent that he's fought. Can you? Exactly.
No.
Exactly. You can't name one guy that Berlanga has fought. How is he getting this? He doesn't deserve it. But since Canelo is the money man, he can get any guy, bring them to pay-per-view status, bring them to the main event. He runs boxing. He can do what he wants. Like as much as we rate Tank and he's for Mandem, Canelo's he has that. He's a money man. You've seen him on the Forbes list. He's that guy. So he's moving like he can do whatever he wants. And it sucks because we're fans. We want to see the best fights. And that's why
Yeah.
everyone's going to UFC because the best fights are happening. So that's all I can say. But one thing about Bivol, I want to ask you, why does he want to fight Bivol again? Listen, what if Better Biev beats Bivol? How come he hasn't been calling out Better Biev?
I think there's the built-in excuse of one, the guy already there's nothing to lose for Canelo if he fights Bivol again. And I don't think Bivol would knock him out, but maybe he thinks he can there's a chance he can knock him out. And if he loses, it doesn't really do anything to him at this point of his career. If he's gonna lose, why not lose to like Bivol, a guy he's already lost to? Try and get the avenge the loss. If he fights Benavidez, a guy that's been calling him out and been walking him down for the longest time, and he's a big guy. He's not small and he hits hard and he walks forward. The way he walks people down, it's almost like a bigger version of Canelo. He's just in the pocket, just throwing at you. The way he was beating up Caleb Plant, just around the dirty boxing in the clinch, just keep punching around the clinch and just walking him down. And I think Benavidez is nasty. I've been watching him for some years now, and Canelo's ducking him. It's lame at this point. This is too many fights. I feel like I've seen Canelo where he's huge the huge
Yeah.
favorite, and it's just like why have these fights, and you're moving up kind of rematch guys that you already lost to when there's a young guy that's been calling you out for the longest time. And
So
look at when Floyd fought you. Look at when Floyd fought him.
yeah,
He was a young dog.
yeah,
So it's like pay it back. I hate when I see fighters not pay it back. Like
yeah.
look at when people fought you and then you want to sit at the top and hold your rank and
Return the favor.
yeah, return the favor. You have to fight below your ranking at some point. You're the
Yeah.
champion at the end, but you have to fight. You have to give it up. You have to give people the opportunity to be great.
So next month Better Biev fights Bivol. And you already explained what you had to say about Benavidez. We've seen the way Benavidez destroyed Durrell. We've seen what Benavidez did to Plant. We've seen what Benavidez did to Lemieux. So many of these guys, he went up a weight class. He looked good in that weight class, won in his debut. But Canelo says he wants to fight Bivol again. But Bivol is facing Better Biev, an undefeated guy, a guy that's 20-0 with 20 knockouts. Not a household name, but he is a beast. He walks forward. He reminds me of Michael Myers. Just walk straight forward, take shots, whatever. He's gonna give shots. And he's a beast. He has two of the titles. So does Bivol. I think right now, that's the best fight in boxing. Next month, Better Biev versus
Yep.
Bivol. But
And he walks the Canadian flag too.
and he
So
rocks the Canadian flag. You know
you
what I'm
have to
saying?
respect
How
it. You gotta
crazy is
respect
that?
it.
How
You see the
crazy
red
is
and white
that?
and the maple leaf, and you gotta respect it, man.
You have to respect him. And the thing that's so crazy also is next year he's about to be 40.
That's crazy.
So next year he's about to be 40. You would think Canelo would call him out. But the reason why Canelo is calling out Bivol and not Better Biev is because Bivol is not a knockout machine. Better Biev knocks people out for fun. And Canelo
Yeah.
knows Better Biev is 39, turning 40 next year, and he still won't call him out. That's the thing that gets me, man. It's like it's not cool, man. Like we've all been boxing fans. We want to see these guys fight each other, but Canelo, he's throwing the white flag out, man. He's throwing the white flag out. He doesn't want to fight these guys, but yet he wants to go to a higher weight class. But yet he wants to fight a guy that weighs less than him, but doesn't want to fight Bud. I gotta ask you this question, last question before we head on to UFC, the UFC card 306. Right now, is Canelo in your top five pound for pound?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So he's in your top five. And I'm assuming because I see on a lot of people's pound for pound list, they have Canelo there also, but they have Bivol under him. How do you do that? Like how do you look at it and how do you place them in order? Because Canelo obviously lost to him. So is that automatic that he's under him just because he lost to him, or you look at other things that factor in?
No, I think the when you it's not even like they fought each other.
Yeah.
And when you look at pound for pound,
Mm,
if you're factoring in Crawford versus Bivol, you
mm,
have to rank the resume and the eye test and things like that and the recent fights. Whereas these two guys actually fought each other. And
mm.
you're thinking the pound for pound, this means if like disregarding weight, but these guys fought each other, so
Head to head.
Bivol should be higher than him. But you know, it's just a media thing, you know, a
Yeah,
favorites game, and
yeah.
we seen with our eyes what happened. So you know,
Mhm. All right, man. Let's get to UFC big card. Noche. A lot of Mexicans are gonna be on this card. And
yeah.
a fight I want to talk to you about first off is T City Brian Ortega, and he's fighting Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez, I didn't realize how tall Diego Lopez is. He's a big boy, and he's on a four-fight winning streak. Does he have what it takes? Does he have the tools to beat Brian Ortega? And how close, if he gets this win, is he away from a title shot?
Being ranked number 13, I think he'll get he'll get a boost up in the rankings, and I don't know about a title shot, but Brian Ortega being number three, that would put him high up in the rankings. And after Max and the Poirier fight, what is there for 145? I guess you could say a rematch for Volkanovski, but maybe you could even say Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez, and the winner of that fight's the winner of Max versus Taporia. And
Yeah,
I think Diego Lopez is active.
yeah.
And how old is Diego Lopez? Diego Lopez that
I think he's like 29. Diego Lopez fought recently though. He
yeah, he
he
fought very recently.
Yeah, he fought recently. I've been impressed with what I've seen from him. And I think T City, he has a lot of tread on those tires. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has a lot of tread on those tires. I'm unsure. I'm unsure how durable he can be in this fight. I know it's a three rounder, so it's not crazy, but this guy, this
He
guy,
doesn't even look in shape.
Diego Lopez is fighting like he has a crazy good camp. I could see Diego Lopez giving T City some trouble.
Yeah, I see him giving T City the works, and I don't I don't know because T City that in the first fight against Yair when he pulled his arm out and it ended early, he was getting cooked. But in the second fight, he just went out there and looked dominant. And
Yeah,
I think if he goes out there and has that style of fight with Diego Lopez, that's where Diego Lopez shines in that close combat war.
yeah,
And he looks like he's built for that fight. If you look at T City's condition and Diego Lopez's condition, you look at their physique, and who do you think would win a fight where it's gonna end in the first round? I think you're gonna pick Diego Lopez, and T City does not look in shape. He looks soft body. He's up there. He's not really up there in age, but I would say more so just in miles and damage
yeah,
taken.
yeah,
And it's not. At this point in the UFC, you guys are too technical. They'll take you out. You know, I think that's what happened with Izzy. It's just like too much miles,
yeah.
and that fight with Duplessis, I think he lost just because of the youth in Duplessis just got him, and he just folded. And I think that's what's gonna happen with T City. I think he's gonna fold, and Diego Lopez is gonna get a first or second round TKO.
I know it hurts you to say that too, you know.
Yeah, because it's like T City is a legend,
Hmm.
and but it's time for the new generation to come up,
Yeah,
and it feels weird seeing that because I remember when T City was like the young guy that's coming up, so seeing the generation of guys that I was watching when I first started watching UFC when they were young dogs on the come up, seeing them have to pass the torch and the end of their career is kind of weird. So T City, if he loses this fight, I don't know what would be next for him, but I think Diego Lopez wins this fight and looks for a Volkanovski fight.
I look at this co-main event, Grasso versus Shevchenko. First fight, Grasso made her tap. Second fight, Grasso won on points. If Grasso wins again, third time in a row, this trilogy, is it time for Shevchenko to call it quits?
Yeah, I think there's not really much left in the for her to do. Win this belt back and maybe give her a rematch just to to try and get a dub back, beat her twice, and make it more solidified. But outside of that, same thing. I don't even Valentina's condition looks. She's looking a little bit aged, and
Yeah.
I only think Alexa Grasso looked better as their fights went on, where she kind of lucked out and snuck a choke in the first fight. She
Uh,
actually stayed in there and did her thing in the second fight, even though I think Valentina won that fight. But if she was winning that fight, but then she sold and was giving up her back in stupid positions and
at the worst time of the fight.
yeah, at the worst time of the fight.
Yeah.
And Grasso has that mental advantage of knowing she could do that to her.
Mhm.
So I don't know how this is gonna look for Valentina Shevchenko, but I would hope she wins. I like Valentina. She's cool, and it sucks seeing like those people that are on top for so long start to taper off. I like to see like people like Demetrius Johnson, Valentina Shevchenko, those champions that defend for a long time, Amanda Nunez. I like to see them defend for a long time and go on top. I don't like seeing. I like to people's legacy to stay intact. I don't like when people go out losing multiple fights in a row.
Yeah, that Tony Ferguson effect.
Yeah, that Tony Ferguson effect. Tony Ferguson, man, like
He's off.
that's a whole
Off
video in
something, man.
itself.
Them Kirk 30s. He's
Yeah,
off something.
yeah, man.
That new Marley, whatever they got out, man. I don't know. I don't know, but
Talking about how you wants to challenge for the belt, just a few more wins. It's like, brother, you're 40 years old, is it? Come on. You can't beat Islam.
the
Him versus Islam would be a wipe down.
yeah, yeah. Main event, huge fight. Huge fight, not only because Marab's on this 10-fight winning streak, but Sugar's fighting Marab's Sugar already fought Marab's boy in Aljo. And it's kind of interesting. I didn't really see a lot of Aljo in Embedded. It didn't really seem like he was around Marab. So I've seen things in the media, I've seen things on the internet saying Marab and Aljo are probably not as tight as we think. But at the end of the day, Marab is going to be in the cage by himself with Sugar. He's on that 10-fight winning streak, and he's beat guys like Jan. He's beat guys like Aldo. He's beat guys like Henry Cejudo. In that last fight, bro, he had Henry in the guillotine talking second round to Zuckerberg. He's carrying Henry around
Yeah.
the cage. Like he babied him.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
he
babied
babied
him.
him.
You know what I'm saying? Is Marab a matchup nightmare for Sugar?
I think Marab that doesn't have staph infection, yeah. But he's moving dumb, showing his cuts and things like that. It's like he's just begging for O'Malley to knock him out. It's like he
Mhm.
wants Aljo to get that rematch or something. But Aljo already wants a 145, brother.
Yeah,
And it's disappointing to see that Marab beat so many uh so many challengers like Jose Aldo when he beat Jose Aldo and then said how Jose Aldo told him he was gonna retire and basically like forced Jose Aldo to just then announce his retirement and you beat him and then you're gonna say, oh, I want to wait for Aljo and you're gonna let Aljo do his thing and you're just beating challengers and then you're gonna come into your title fight when you've been deserving it probably for the last three fights, showing you have a cut, showing you have staph infection and all this foolishness, just doing foolishness. And I hope O'Malley knocks him out.
Mm.
O'Malley, he's a shot picker and he's accurate, precision puncher and his power. And Marab, he gets rocked. Even in his fight with Marlon Moraes almost had him out, and then Marlon Moraes gas tank just went out and he finished him. But Marab has a suspect chin, and O'Malley he finds it and that range. And O'Malley's not a bad grappler, and if he keeps that range and that awkward footwork, who knows how long Marab's going to be able to shoot a bunch of takedowns? Because to shoot 45 takedowns in a fight like he did against Piotr Jan, you have to. Yeah, it means the person's getting up. So it's not like you're holding them down or doing anything like that. And if you have staph infection, are you going to be able to do that? How many fights is he going to be able to do that for? You know, and I think O'Malley's gonna be patient and pick the shot just like he did against Aljo, and it's gonna be first round TKO. And then O'Malley's I don't know
Damn.
what's next for O'Malley, but I think it's first round TKO. This is quick thing, man.
Quick.
And quick thing. And I don't know what Dana White's doing with this fear thing with all this the movie and the cinematics and all this stuff. So that's a whole other thing in itself. But I think O'Malley's if whatever foolishness Dana White has planned, O'Malley's gonna knock out Marab, and I'm stamping it.
First
I'm
round?
stamping it. Yeah, first round. I'm stamping it.
That's
He's not
that's
going back to
crazy.
the
That's
corner.
crazy. That's crazy. I can't say that. I can't say that. But what I can ask, if Sugar gets this win, do you give him bantamweight GOAT?
You know, I was at work on the job site, and I was thinking about this. I was like, yo, if he wins this, is he, because beating Aljo and a win over Jan, like his resume is getting tidy in his last five fights. His resume is getting tidy. And
Okay.
this will be his second title defense. He beat
Okay.
Cheeto Vera.
Okay. So
He
he
as an
avenged
argument.
that he avenged that Cheeto loss, and I think he lost to Jan. So maybe
I do
right
think he
now
lost to Jan.
you do also, right?
But on the record, you know
Yeah, yeah, no,
you know
I
how the
know.
record books
That's why,
are.
that's why, no, no,
But
I know. That's why I'm
yeah,
saying, okay, maybe not right now, go, but if he rematches Jan and wins that, would you give him Bantam gold?
yeah,
Okay.
that's three title defenses, and then what? A fourth against who? I don't know. For Umar, would it be? Yeah, a fourth against Umar Nurmagomedov.
Umar is in a tough position, so it's, you know what I'm
But
saying?
that even
He's
he's in
not
a.
a UFC man no more.
What do you mean?
Am I tripping? Why did I
Umar
see,
Nurmagomedov?
yeah, why did I see him in Bellator?
He was probably cornering for someone.
Oh, he's cornering. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
when he was with Khabib, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was cornering
Oh,
for
he's
Usman
cornering.
Nurmagomedov,
Okay,
the
okay,
lightweight.
okay,
But yeah,
okay.
yeah, Umar
Yeah, because
Nurmagomedov.
I know he recently beat Corey Sandhagen.
Yeah, and if he and I don't know if O'Malley can beat him, but that power, the knockout ability at 135 is just like it's too deadly. And when you're that light and you can knock people out like that, any fight is 50-50. And if it's not already 50-50, or if it was seven, if he's the favorite in the beginning, it's even worse for you. You know what I mean? Because any fight with O'Malley is 50-50. I thought Aljo was gonna cook him, but you make one mistake with him and he takes you out.
Aljo disappointed the culture, man. That
Yeah.
was embarrassing, and he still hasn't that green in his freaking hair. So I don't know what he's on, but Sugar been talking that. Sugar has that dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, his personality is like it's not getting any better, man.
It's
Like he
dull. It's
can't.
dull.
He's tried his hardest. He's tried his best, but it is dull as hell. Nothing you
Yeah.
can do. It's just you have it or you don't. He doesn't. But he obviously has followers. He has a big name. He was speaking about crossing over to boxing.
No.
So we don't, no, I know it's no right away, but I still have to talk about it. We know that these MMA guys, we haven't seen these MMA guys in their prime fight these boxers. Only seen Connor do it. Like we see Jake Paul fighting these guys, but they're well past their prime. He's
Yeah.
talking about fighting Tank. This guy has lost his mind. If that fight would to go down, like it would be, there would be no,
Wipe down.
there, do you know what I'm saying? There would be
And
no round.
wipe down. Dana White doesn't want that again, still.
No, he can't.
And especially if it's not Floyd money, no chance.
But the reason why I had to mention it is because if there is like that handful of guys in the UFC that Dana loves off, Sugar's in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the only reason it's like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen. But if it were to happen, he would be a guy that he would throw in there. But Tank is just too good, man. Tank is too smart. Tank he has way more power than Sugar, and it's Tank sport.
yeah, 100%.
So that definitely wouldn't fly. And I guess he has to say stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah, I got your name out there.
yeah, get your name out there, whatever, but
It's a clip headline. You know, a
yeah,
TikTok
exactly,
clip,
exactly. And then he
quick
also
TikTok clip.
embedded mentioned like he would scrap and beat Ryan also, which is pretty mad. But yeah, we gotta I just want to hear, so we spoke about top five pound for pound for boxing. Bud is my top number one pound for pound in boxing. For UFC, everything, all the time, Dana White's getting asked, who's number one? This, that. He keeps saying John Jones, which is bare annoying because obviously it's not John Jones. Who's number one pound for pound in UFC, man?
Islam Makhachev.
Islam.
Islam Makhachev, 100%.
Yeah, I got, and even Sugar. I mentioned that because Sugar's fighting tonight. Even Sugar mentioned that it's Islam also. So the fighters know, right? Dana
Yeah,
Dana runs the thing, so he could say whatever he wants. Nobody could tell him anything. But yeah, I agree. It's Islam. I can't see nobody like you've seen what Islam did on the feet. Like he's not just taking you down anymore. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He's showing that he can do he has what it takes to beat you on the
to
feet.
get you out of there
Also,
on the feet. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, and like he's versatile, right? Um, I think Bilal being in that camp with those guys has helped his game grow. You know what I'm
a
saying?
lot.
We've seen what people do when they're around Khabib and you've seen how Umar's doing. You see what Bilal did to Leon, dropping him on his head. Like they're doing something over there, man. They're doing something over there. The fight game is serious over there. And yeah, man, that's UFC. That's UFC 306. Little preview, y'all.
No preview, yeah.
Y'all know how it is. We're coming back. We're gonna come back. Next UFC fight. Gonna get this running all over again. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely gonna preview that Bivol better be a fight next month. You already
Yes,
know
sir, Ski.
Day came through. Appreciate you, my bro. Y'all
Appreciate you having me.
already know. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get this fight on tonight. Y'all enjoy the
Yes,
picks.
sir, Ski.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.